Hello there and welcome to Cannibal Diva Chronicles, where uplifting the downtrodden is our focus. I have a video to share with you guys. It's from Very Dark Man. Very Dark Man is a very popular blogger who talks about different controversial issues going on in society within the Nigerian context. He is very well loved by many and also very much despised by many others. I, for one, have not really taken a stand about how I feel about him. I just feel like sometimes he can be a little bit annoying because of his strong views on some issues that are quite controversial, like I said, but many people already feel as if he just wants to be, known for his controversy, and he tries to be as controversial as possible in most cases just to get viewership. And there was a time I actually felt that way as well. And I stopped following his social media page because of some things he said in the past that I completely disagreed with, which I thought were in bad taste. But there's a recent video this man, Very Dark Man, has put up that I must say he spoke quite well about, because it focuses on the kinds of topics about uplifting the downtrodden and speaking about those who have fallen, unfortunately, at the hands of an abuser. And I decided to post it here today just to shed more light on things that can happen and the eventuality of an abusive relationship when stand is not taken by the victim, be it man or woman, especially in the most cases is the frailer sex, being it that the woman is a frailer partner, usually, that ends up falling at the hands of her abuser. In this case, a young woman is seen dancing at her wedding, celebrating with her loved ones and people she had invited for the event behind her, clapping and jollying and celebrating with her. And she looked pretty happy, bending to the dance steps and turning in her beautiful wedding gown as her husband sprayed her with money. And the lavish display of joy, happiness and celebration cannot be missed when you watch this video of this young couple. Only for him to fast track to another video of someone crying and calling her name, asking her to get up because it appeared that she was injured, or at worst she had met her demise. And Very Dark Man explained that this woman was the younger sister to one of his friends who he was quite close to, and his friend had been openly against the marriage, but had eventually just gone in support of his sister deciding to marry this man. Nobody knew that it was going to end up in such a tragic end. This woman is laying still, and someone that is her loved one is calling her name and crying, and she's not getting up. And Very Dark Man says that she lost her life at the hands of her husband, who had been known to beat her mercilessly. And many times she had gone to her parents to complain that she was being abused physically by her husband, to which her parents had responded that she should go back to her marital home and that they should look for a way of settling their issues, and that she was in this marriage till death do them part, or for life. And eventually they had lost their daughter at the hands of this abuser. Many parents make the same mistake to think that when they turn a deaf ear or a blind eye to how their family members or their loved ones, especially their children, are being abused or maltreated by their spouse, that it will just miraculously solve itself, and that sending their daughter or their son or whoever it is at that point back into the hands of the abuser is the only solution. Let me just make it clear here that when you have people in ministry, those who we consider to be our leaders, be it at home, in ministry, or even our parents, saying, go back to that person. You guys are married for life. Go back and endure, or go back and settle it within yourselves, or go back and look for a way out, because marriage is meant to be endured and not celebrated. You are sending that person possibly into the hands of their killer or their predator, who's going to eventually take their life. It's sad to see that many women have fallen at the hands of their spouse. And there's statistics that shows that I think one of the number one reasons of women losing their lives is at the hands of their partner. Knowing this, many loved ones or family members should refrain from just having that complete disengagement when their family members or their loved ones or children are telling them that their spouse is being abusive. For the person to come out to speak the truth and to be honest and open to their parents must be very difficult. Many people don't want to admit defeat or failure in their marriages. It takes courage and boldness for somebody to come out and say, listen, this person is beating me up. It's almost like a shameful thing for many people to even admit that they're being abused, because it appears to make them look weak. And I'm telling you this because I have experienced it myself, and I know that many times I didn't want to admit defeat. I didn't want to say, oh, I'm going to be one of the statistics out there when I come out to say that this is happening to me. Why can't I handle it myself? Why can't I look for a way out to settle this thing when I know I'm not the only one in this situation? It is things like this and this kind of approach that ends up making many people look back in regret, be it family members or the victims themselves. Unfortunately, in this case, this woman can't even look back and regret her actions because obviously it has ended up costing her her life. I am very much against people in ministry telling people who are being abused to go back to their marriages. Go back to abusive marriages, especially when there's physical abuse, not just emotional abuse. Even though I've come to realize after many years of research that emotional abuse is worse than even physical abuse, because there are things that are said to you and there are ways you're treated that you can never forget. It's like cracking an egg and trying to place the shells back together. The cracks are forever there. No matter how much perfection this egg comes to after you have put it back together as a whole, it's always going to show the cracks in it. And a relationship that has endured years of emotional abuse and physical abuse will always have those cracks. There's no way you can sugarcoat it. There's no way you can sweep it under the rug to say, you know, those things never happened. The memories of trauma, of toxic backlash, abuse, attacks, and behavior that causes people, takes a toll on people's lives in a way that cannot even be described in some cases. It's terrible, to say the least. And it's barbaric and inhuman, to say the least. Because many of these people go out and they have to pretend to the world that they're happy. They no longer live an authentic life. They no longer live a life that showcases their talents and their true emotions about how they feel about situations, because they turn into somebody else. They start to watch everything they say, and every little step they take is governed by what somebody else thinks about them, or how somebody else is going to react, or what are the punishments that come after such reactions, because they're trying their best to go out of character, to actually please another human being who in most cases does not care about their emotional expenses or how they are affected emotionally by their actions. It's a one-way street when an abuser continues to abuse their victims, and their victims are always trying to play catch up to how much more can I do to correct what has already gone wrong? What else can I do to make this work? It's always a one-way street when that person is trying their best to correct the misdeeds that have been done against them. While in the meantime, the abuser is looking for more ways to either manipulate, beat, cheat, or control their victims. Many women are in this same situation today, even though many of them would not admit that they are. Many people are suffering in silence. And they keep relying on their loved ones to tell them when to come out, to say it's enough. Please, don't stay even one more day. Come out of that situation. Come out of that house. It could be because of financial constraints or financial liabilities, or fear of what people are going to say, or fear of the unknown, or because of the way they believe they're going to be perceived as being failures. So many people stay for different reasons. And there's some people that are justified to stay because their children involved in many cases. And it's better that there are two parents in the family than one. But what are these children learning when they see their parents in this kind of action, where the man is, pummeling and beating this person to a pulp? We need to know that many of us have to spread the word. If you have a friend, for example, that is being abused, I wouldn't expect you to come right out to say, leave. But when it comes to physical trauma and physical, endangerment of someone's life, where you see bruises, you see them having black eye, you see them having unexplained causes for having injuries on themselves on a daily basis, you can only put two and two together to come to that realization that this person might be suffering from a physical or domestic abuse. And you would be a good friend to tell them that there are options out there. Call 911 is number one. We're in a Western country, we live in a Western world, where in this part of the world, 911 reacts immediately to such, reports of domestic abuse. Whereas in places like Nigeria, Africa, or other African countries where this happened, unfortunately, you don't have that kind of response. And usually the woman is left on her own to suffer the consequences of a toxic and physical or domestic abuse. My heart goes out to the family members who I believe are at this point regretting their decision in asking their daughter to go back to this person that took her life. Let this be an example and lesson for many who would be quick to jump to a conclusion that all marriages can be saved and all marriages are worthy of being saved. There are some marriages that should not even be saved. There are some marriages that an escape is far better than enduring in that toxic environment. To save a life, speak out today and be a support system to somebody out there in need of your attention and help. Thank you so much for tuning to Cannonball Diva Chronicles today. I hope you're having a good week. Stay blessed, y'all. Bye.
All right, so that beautiful wedding display is the wedding of my friend's younger sister. I see her jollying and happy and vibing. But sadly, this is the same person.
God, Joy, Joy.
What happened to her was by her beaten. Beaten by who? Beaten by the husband she was happy that she was getting married to. See the way she did dance for her wedding? She no know say she did dance, enter her doom. She no know say she did dance, enter her end. She no know say she did dance, enter her pain. Person will go cut her life short. So it was really sad. When I heard about the news, I was just, because the guy not my guy, understand? But then again, I believe that this video is gonna teach people things. Now, the lady, first of all, this is the first part. The lady discovered that the guy was knocking her best friend. The husband, he knocked the best friend. And then, those kind of things, the man said no get remorse, they beat her joint. But that's not the point. The point of this video is this setting, this our African setting. Now, the information I gathered is that anytime the guy beats the woman go cry, go house. You understand? Anytime they beat him serious, she go cry, go family house, go complain. The parent go tell her, say, I beg, go back. Be your husband. You should look for a way to settle it. Now they don't buy it again. Parents, they cry. Do you understand? And this thing is one setting that African parents usually do. In short, in Africa, generally, they believe that marriage is for better, for worse. The for better, for worse, so they talk. It's not this one worse. The worse they are talking about is for the both of us to feel worse. Not be for only one person. Not be say one party could enjoy, the other person could cry. That's not the for better, for worse is for financial problem. The worse financial problem, a lot of problems. Do you understand? For a lot of crisis in the family, when me and you go feel the pain. Tell you for better, for worse, then only the woman go cry. And women, I already talked this to them before. Anything where make a man carry hand hit you, and the man has stopped loving you. There's no logical explanation for that. Once a man don't carry hand, don't hit you, there's no logical explanation for it. He has stopped loving you. Now make a come bust here. The day where they get by, that best friend they house, they cook for the man. What a world. What a world. Now imagine if as she come back house. You understand? The parents say, okay, where you come? This picking where you beat like this, I beg. Take your bride price, we no want again. Now it sound easy, but it will save a lot of people stress. Do you understand? And women too, if they pursue you, go house. If they pursue you back, if you feel say, oh more, the thing, carry yourself, go another place. If family don't accept you, go another side. Now she don't go. That one did they say, they don't arrest the guy. Did they say that they were in the car when she just slumped. When she just slumped, After you do panda in the morning, panda in the afternoon, panda in the evening, mental problem. This one, you don't finish her already. If you look at that video where her face get mark, her hand don't swell up as a result of the bash where the guy don't bash her. And what's funny is that my friend don't actually support the wedding. My friend where senior the girl didn't support the wedding, because even on the wedding day he was not there. He only came for the reception after they advised him. Came for the reception at the end. I'm pretty sure he must have warned the girl not to marry that guy. But you know, women, you get advice where you go give them, you go turn to their enemy. You get advice where you go give women now, you go turn to their enemy. What a sad way to go. Now a lot of people now go still they rush, they go enter marriage. Some people feel say marriage now. They don't know say now your marriage will be your doom. Don't play. Don't play. Rest in peace to her. May God guide her to the right path, to heaven. Don't play.
Soundstripe.